Hey, what's good? Welcome back to yet another video. Today we are doing our lovely weekly recap of the college football and NFL season. Hopefully you enjoyed the video yesterday as I completely ranted about the Titans yet again. Yeah, crazy. Things are going phenomenal for us. They're horrible, but it's fun. Um, that being said, if you do like the videos that I do make, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I love having you here. Love making these videos. Love talking. Love not shutting the hell up. It's fun. It's great. Yeah. But either way, let's quit the yap and let's get on with the video, right? Let's quickly talk about what's happening in the college football landscape. We're going to talk about the games this week. We're going to go over the rankings real quick and decide what we think about that. Then we're going to go over to the NFL. We have a little bit of news actually in the NFL, which I will be covering a little bit of that in a short later on. So hopefully you watch this and then watch that later on. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully you enjoy. Florida took on Miami. Miami absolutely dominated them 26-7. Carson Beck threw for 160. Mark Blitter ran for 116. Really good week for them. Florida's not looking good. We all thought that they would be really, really tough, and no, not the case. That's all. Quick little caveat to Texas versus Sam Houston. March Manning going for 309. Good week for him, but nothing really exciting. Now, the big surprise for me this week, Illinois taking on Indiana. Illinois got battered by Indiana, and Indiana was the team that was ranked 19th. They beat Illinois 63-10. It was absolutely rough for them. Man, things just did not look good at all. Yeah, whew, that was a tough one, real big tough one. Oklahoma, they took on Auburn in a battle of ranked opponents, and OU ended up beating Auburn 24-17. John Mateer threw for 271 yards. It was announced today that he's going to have surgery. I believe it was on one of his hands, so he's going to miss a little bit of time. Hopefully, Oklahoma can continue that. But man, John Mateer has been really the big reason that they've looked so good. Texas Tech, they won a Big 12 matchup with the number 16 team in the country, Utah, as they were number 17. Knocked them off 34-10. Absolutely incredible game by them. Yeah, Utah's defense usually plays really good football too, so watching Texas Tech kind of dominate them was kind of a surprise to me, but hey, things are what they are, I guess, is how you look at it. Vanderbilt, quick little caveat as they played Georgia State, but they ended up putting up a 70 burger with Diego Pavia with 245 yards to get the job done. Really good game for them. Yeah, I think that they're moving in the right direction. I think they're pretty happy with that. Yeah, not a lot of, nothing really crazy to talk about, but yeah, no, absolutely dominant. Michigan, they played Nebraska and they defeated Nebraska in a very close game, 30-27. Really, nothing really too humongous to talk about, but hey, they got the job done. Dylan Raiola threw the ball for 308 yards. Played pretty good football in the game, but just wasn't enough. Michigan ended up getting it done with Bryce Underwood. Number 23 team in the country, Missouri. They beat South Carolina 29-20. Lenore Sellers throwing the ball 302 yards. Shout out to him, man. Um, I think a lot of people would tell you that he's probably the number one quarterback coming into the draft. I would probably have to agree to that. I don't see where you don't have that. I think he's the best normal quarterback out right now. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just confused. But yeah, I really like Lenore Sellers, and Mizzou's playing really good football. I believe they play Vanderbilt this week, so that should be a really tough matchup. So yeah, really big good one to call. Notre Dame, they won a rivalry game 56-30. About time they finally got things going. Jeremiah Love running for 157 yards. Really good running back. I'm not surprised to see that, but yeah, hey, shout out to him. USC. Sorry, with my nose being so weak. USC ended up beating Michigan State 45-31. Really good game for them. Jaden Mayava, 234 yards passing through the air. Omari Kelly, 133 yards. Former mid-10 Blue Raider, by the way. Yeah, played a really good game as well. Wayman Jordan, 157 yards on the ground. Incredible. Incredible. Memphis, they pull off an upset over an SEC team as they beat Arkansas 32-31. Taylon Green, 325 yards through the air. Incredible game for them. Quick talk, Syracuse. Their quarterback, I know, went down after this game, but they ended up beating Clemson 34-21, and Cade Klubnik still threw the ball for 363 yards. Really good for him, just things aren't working over there. TCU beat SMU 35-24. Really kind of surprised at that one, to be honest with you. I thought SMU would be a lot better team this year. Just really have not shaken up in that way. UCF dominated North Carolina, which, granted, we probably wouldn't be talking too much about them if it wasn't for it being Bill Belichick. But UCF beat them 34-9. Yeah, absolutely dominant performance. But I don't think that we have anything too crazy to talk about now when it comes to the college football landscape right now. I know that Colorado and Caden Salter came back. They beat Wyoming 37-20. So, but let's go ahead and check out this top 25 rankings and see what we think. Right, number 1, Ohio State. I completely agree. Miami has went up 2 spots to number 2. Penn State and LSU both have went down 1 spot because of that. Georgia, Oregon, Oklahoma, both climbing up. Florida State up until number 8. They fell a little bit, but nothing too bad to talk about at home. Texas A&M has jumped up to the number 9 spot. Texas has fallen down 2 spots to number 10. I kind of agree with that. They really haven't looked impressive other than their few games, but I kind of get it. And obviously, with teams like, with Illinois getting absolutely battered, Indiana's going to fly up. Texas Tech's going to fly up from their ranked victory. Ole Miss and Iowa State, they're kind of just sticking around. Tennessee at number 15 is really good. Georgia Tech, Alabama, Vanderbilt, Michigan, all kind of getting their footing right back into the swing of things. Really good for them. Really good for their programs. They have some things to work out. USC, Notre Dame, Illini, TCU, and BYU will finish up the top 25, which I actually do agree with. Looks like Notre Dame they have above USC in one of the polls, but I completely disagree with that, to be honest with you. Look at the AP top 25. Notre Dame's already lost 2 games. USC is dominant and 4-0. So, yeah. No, I believe they have that right with USC. But yeah, really good lookout of what we expect to see from the college football playoff. We have a little bit of time to really be talking about that, to be fair. So, yeah, I guess we'll see what happens, right? All right, we are back with more NFL talk. Yeah. So my predictions were not great this week. I will say that. I thought the Texans would be back. They were not. But we'll start with that Dolphins and Bills game. Obviously, the attempt at a blocked punt ended up leading to Josh Allen waking up and trouncing the Dolphins. Tua throws an interception, a a very a very tough interception, very heart wrenching one right at the close to the goal line. Turnell Bernard with the pick, really big for them. Dolphins ended up losing 31-21. Looked like the offense finally got some things going, and there we go. Things just went downhill for them. Bengals and the Vikings. Now, I did get this one right, so I'm proud of myself for that, to be honest with you. But I figured it would come down to the defenses, and that's exactly what it did. There was a lot of fumbles over there with the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's really what kind of led to it. Carson Wentz looked pretty good, 173 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't think you're complaining about that whatsoever. I think a lot of it is that just there were a lot of turnovers on this game. It was rough. Minnesota's defense obviously came to play. Cincinnati only scores 10 points. It was 3 fumbles lost on the Cincinnati Bengals side, which, yeah, that's pretty crazy. They allowed 4 sacks. We know their O-line is a little bit struggling right now. Vikings, I think we have some things to worry about over there, but, nothing completely too crazy right now. And the fact that they were able to go ahead and get themselves yet another win, really, really good from them. They're 2-1 now in a division that is full of 2-1 teams, and then 1-1-2 teams. So yeah, we're kind of getting things going. Jaguars, they beat the Texans 10-17. It looks like that O line on the Texans still has not been fixed whatsoever, which we're about to talk about another team whose O line is just completely, absolutely garbage. But yeah, Houston, man, it's just not looking good for C.J. Stroud over there. They are a pretty good team, right? C.J. Stroud threw for a touchdown, but 2 picks. Trevor Lawrence threw for an interception. Travis Etienne ran for a touchdown. Nothing too crazy over here. We had a pretty close game, but C.J. Stroud, man, I don't know what to do for him because he's got to get an O-line over there for them. He's a great player, and I think he's a phenomenal player. But you can't win if you're always on your back, so that's really the issue over there. Colts absolutely dominate the Titans, like as predicted. 41-20, absolutely battered them. Titans played like absolute dog crap. We won't go too far into that one because we already know if you watch the video above me right now. Yeah, that'll be kind of the case there. That'll be actually at the end of the video, but either way, check it out. Raiders, they played the Commanders. Now, this one was a surprise to me. I thought the Raiders would play a little bit better. That was not the case. That was horrible. Actually, there's going to be a couple games that was surprising me. Ashton Genty ran the ball. He got about 63 yards. He's getting a little better. But Jeremy McNichols, former Titan, 78 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Marcus Mariota, also former Titan, 207 yards and a touchdown. Apparently, all you got to do is leave Tennessee, and you'll be a really good football player. That's basically how that came down to me. Marcus Mariota did run in a touchdown as well. Also passed one to who was it? Luke McCaffrey for 43 yards. Really good game for them. Uh, Raiders aren't looking great, but in all fairness, we knew this was going to be a little bit of a room to work over there. I think they kind of figured Geno would play a little bit better, but that's just not how it worked there. The Rams, they played the Eagles to a 26-33 game. Bone crunching, heart wrenching game for the Rams. They had dominated all game long, and then just out of nowhere, the Eagles come back in the second half, scored 26 points, and ended up winning the football game because at halftime, I don't remember quite what it was. I think it was like 26-7. It was absolutely dominant. And the Eagles came back and scored 26 themselves. Absolutely crazy performance for them. Jalen Hurts made me a happy person with 226 yards and 3 touchdowns, as I have the man in fantasy. A.J. Brown finally got himself back in the action. Stafford, he did throw one interception, but I don't think it was really too bad about that. There were some fumbles, some blocked kicks, and, a lot of things just kind of went wrong in those cases, but yeah, what do you do, right? Eagles finally got it done. The offense looked a lot better than it did the week prior, so I think that you're taking that with a grain of salt with the Eagles, and you're being pretty happy. You're probably a little bit confused about what the defense was doing, but I think you'll get that figured out later on down the season. Panthers shut the Falcons out 30-0. Crazy. Yeah. Michael Penix really did not play a good game. He went 18 for 36, 172 yards through 2 interceptions. Kirk Cousins came in for 5 for 7. I really don't know if you start Kirk Cousins. I think you got to figure out how to get the ground game going a little better. But the Panthers, they looked good. Bryce Young didn't. Bryce Young looked okay. He was serviceable. He did run in a touchdown though. Rico Dowdle also scored a touchdown. Panthers defense came to play, and that was a surprise to me. I thought their defense was going to be pretty butt all year long, and it really wasn't. It actually got the job done for them. And yeah, they won the game 30-0. Steelers and a fumble fest. Ended up beating the Patriots 21-14. Yeah, Steelers and their magic kind of went off to work on. Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdowns and an interception, but he only threw for 139 yards. Drake May had the same stat line, but 268 yards, 28 completions. He does not really have anything too spectacular over there. Hunter Henry caught 2 touchdowns. Jalen Warren had 34 yards on the ground or through the air and 47 on the ground. Played a pretty good game for them, but yeah, no, the big thing was really just a lot of the fumbles. A lot of fumbles. There were, how many was it altogether? I think it was like 4 fumbles lost by the Patriots. Yeah, it was a rough day. A rough day. Ramondre Stevenson had a rough day, and we're going to talk about fumbles later on. Let me tell you, we're going to, especially by one of my favorite players, which is sad. The Browns ended up beating the Packers. Jordan Love throws a bone-crunching interception, gets run back. Later on, though, they drive back down the field and a blocked field goal, and the Browns drive the field with Joe Flacco at the helm. Ended up getting the game-winning field goal, beating the Packers 13-10. What a shocker it is! I can't wait to do the top 10 this week because the top 10 this week is going to get shaken up just a little bit. Yeah, no, absolutely crazy performance, but hey, Packers got knocked off. The Buccaneers, they beat the Jets 29-27. Tyrod Taylor, man, ageless wonder in my opinion. The guy's a good football player, and he's going to be a good football player forever. It feels like he threw for 2 touchdowns and an interception. Baker Mayfield only threw for 1, but they got the job done. Yeah, they got the job done. It was kind of crazy to be honest with you. You take a look at like the overview here, and we'll quickly talk about all the scores and everything like that. But you look at the scoring summary. It's a field goal. Mike Evans, 5-yard passing touchdown for Baker Mayfield. Jameel Dean, 55-yard interception return. Garrett Wilson, touchdown from Tyrod Taylor. Alan Lazard, touchdown. Will McDonald, field goal block return. Dude, it was just an absolutely crazy game. And Chase McLaughlin, with no time on the clock, drills the field goal to get the job done. Really good game for the Buccaneers. It was a really fun game to watch, to be honest with you. Now, next, we will quickly talk about the Broncos versus the Chargers. Another fun game it was. Broncos at this point, they were dominating at the beginning of the second half. The Chargers really couldn't get a lot going after they started the game off 10 and 0, I believe it was, and then it was 17 to 10 for quite a while, to be honest with you. Chargers finally started charging back just a little bit, as their name suggests. Herbert finally got things going. He still threw for 300 yards. Congratulations to him. Huge victory on the year. Played a really good football. Keenan Allen getting himself a touchdown. Cameron Dicker with the game-winning field goal, getting the job done. Hey, shout out to them. Seahawks absolutely obliterate the Saints. Spencer Rattler, it looks like he went back down to reality. He did throw a pick, but he also did throw a touchdown. He didn't play a completely awful game, but man, Seahawks looked really good. That's a really good defense. They're not running the ball too great, so that's a little bit of a worry there. But man, Torrey Horton, 95-yard punt return for a touchdown. Kenneth Walker, touchdown. Jackson Smith-Njigba, touchdown. Torrey Horton, man, most underrated player in the entire draft, and I completely forgot about it. He is so good. Shout out to him. Obviously, in the fourth quarter, Jack Stoll catches the one touchdown for the Seahawks. There you go. Bears, they absolutely just trounced the Cowboys. Dak Prescott looks like Dak Prescott again, throwing 2 interceptions. He honestly played a fairly decent game, 31 for 40, 251 yards. But man, the Bears just seem to have it from beginning to end, and that's really what it led down to. Caleb Williams, he gave the ball to DJ Moore. He also got Luther Burden a little bit more involved, and that really helped out a lot for them. Yeah, no, they ran the ball a lot, though. They really did. And I think that you're going to see a little bit more of that kind of stuff. Colston Loveland finally getting in the offense just a little bit, but it was only like one reception for 31 yards. But hey, it was a pretty good reception. Cole Kmet got himself back in. Yeah, really good game for them all together. I think that you're pretty happy if you're DJ Reed or DJ Moore. Fantasy under, you're sitting there going, well, it's something, you know? I think you're doing okay over now. Now, 49ers, they ended up beating the Cardinals on a last second field goal. I think I had the Cardinals winning this game because I thought the injuries would catch up to them. And the Cardinals again. Kyler Murray, only 159 yards and a touchdown. Marvis Harrison with some big drops. Yeah, crazy, I guess, is all I can really say about that. Eddie Pinheiro, 35-yard field goal to finish the game. See, 49ers are 3-0, which is crazy to me because I really did not see that being the case. Chiefs, they ended up beating the Giants. Cam Scatterby, really the only real good thing about this. We will get on to that news at the very end with the Giants, actually. The Chiefs, they played a pretty good football game. I thought they did really good from beginning to end. Yeah, no, really crazy way for things to work out for them is that they got an easy game finally. And now they're playing the Ravens, who we're about to talk about them here in a second, right? But pretty crazy what's going on, huh? Uh, what do you say? You know what I mean? What do you say at this point? The Chiefs did not play a great game, man. Or they played an okay game. Obviously, they're still missing Xavier Worthy, so hopefully they get him back this week. That would be really helpful for them. Hopefully they can get some help. Tyquan Thornton with the one touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes, but really Russell Wilson kind of gave the game away himself, 2 interceptions, and the Chiefs were able to just kind of scramble it out and get it going for them. So shout out to the Kansas City Chiefs. In the last game of the week, Lions versus the Ravens, obviously 38-30, really close game, really fun game. Offense was absolutely nuts. Goff threw 202 yards through the air. Montgomery ran for 151 yards. And Jahmyr Gibbs ran for another 67. 4 touchdowns for the 2 running backs together. Mon-Ra St. Brown continued his really, really good work. And the Ravens, 288 yards through the air for Lamar Jackson. 3 touchdowns. Derrick Henry also ran for 1 himself. Obviously, he has the back-breaking fumble. Yeah, that kind of sucked for him, but what do you do in those cases? You know what I mean? Things just happen. Situations are situational. That's all we can really say about it. And it's not fun, but what can you do? Yeah, so the failed 2-pass attempt to Mark Andrews did not end up not helping. But hey, what can you do in those cases? Now, shout out to the Lions. Played a really good game. Now they're 2-1. Ravens are 1-2, surprisingly, just like the Chiefs. I'm kind of surprised to hear that. Right now, the Steelers, I believe, are leading the division, or they're tied for it with 2-1. Hey, You're looking at the right spots. You're looking really good. Now, last but not least, we are going to quickly talk about the news today. The New York Giants have planned to bench quarterback Russell Wilson in favor of the first-round rookie Jaxson Dart after 3 games. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it might be a little bit too early in my defense. I think that he's a good enough quarterback. Yes, I do. I do think he'll be okay. Yeah. As I'm sitting in front of a dark room telling you what I think about Jaxson Dart, I have a lot of faith in Jaxson Dart. I liked what he put out on the college film, but in my personal opinion, it's a little bit too early to start the guy. Hey, maybe I'm going to be completely wrong because he's going to be playing the Chargers. I, in my defense, I think I would have waited a week, when he plays the New Orleans Saints to kind of just face a team that's really struggling right now to finally try to get his rhythm in there and get things going. But hey, the Chargers are that's a tough football team, so he's getting thrown out to the wolves right away. So if he comes out and he performs, I mean, what are we talking about? But that being said, that is going to be it for this video, as I did not shut up for about 20 minutes and I talked way too freaking much. But I do appreciate you if you did make it all the way to the end of the video. I do thank you all so very much, and I hope I can get a like. I hope I can get a comment. Hope I can get a subscribe, as you know that video and the Titans is going to be up there, so you should really talk about them. And I'll see you all next video. Have a good one.